Hola Guitar Guru fans, I'm Andy and you're watching Guitar Guru channel. I finally got this very special 90s American Ultra Stratocaster. So what makes this American Ultra so ultra special? Well, first of all, it comes in top 5 best Stratocasters ever made. And among these top 5 best Stratocasters ever made worldwide, this one actually is the only one affordable. Check this out.
There are so many Stratocasters in the vintage guitar community, so here's our list of the top 5 Fender Stratocasters of all time. Starting the list at number 5 is the Fender Strat Ultra from 1990. The model ran from 1990 to 1998 with an outer body, maple neck, ebony fretboard, Wilkinson roller nut, biflex 2-way truss rod, 25.5 scale length neck, shell-down inlays, 22 jumbo style frets, 9.5 radius lace sensor pickups, and unique finishes. List price is $1,750. Next at number 4 is the 1962 L Series Fender Stratocaster. It is called the L Series because of the serial number on the back of the neck plate, which proceeded with the letter L. Pre-CVS purchase of Fender, the models ran from late 1962 to mid-1965, usually seen with a veneer Brazilian rosewood fretboard, 21 frets, 7.25 to 9.5 radius, 25.5 scale length maple neck, outer body, and thicker spaghetti logo with the patent number. List price is around $20,000.
Well, I don't want to play the entire video on top 5 strats. You can find the link in the description below. But note that all other strats from top 5 are $20,000 and more, which makes American Ultra from 90s the only affordable one from the bunch. Also note that back in 2021, when video was recorded, you could buy a Strat like this for $1,700, but not anymore. 2 years later, you'll be lucky if you find it at around $2,200 to $2,500. So what's so great about American Ultra from 90s, specifically 90 to 98? Well, Fender factory themselves admitted that this was the best production guitar back then. Best production guitar they ever made, because they compiled all best woods and all best options and features that were available to Fender in the 90s. So this production model was right under Custom Shop Fender Stratocasters. So what can be better than American Ultra from 90s? I will answer this question in a minute. Stay tuned. Let's review it part by part. Well, the first thing that you instantly notice, it has very unusual for Stratocaster flamed top. Kinda, gives us some relation to Gibson Les Paul. And I love Les Pauls, so it kind of hits home. And then next thing you see is that it's a typical 5-way switch, 3 knobs, but there is one more little tiny switcher between tones. And that one is the peculiar part about 90s American Ultra Stratocasters. So you basically differentiate between these two pickups. So they can work as single coils, and you can pick either one farther from the bridge or another closer to the bridge, or be in the middle to use it as humbucker. So this little switcher all the way down. A lot of bite, only one single coil is working from this double pickup. I move it all the way up. Kind of delicate, right? And I can enforce both of them as a humbucker mode. So it's dry. And dirty sound as it's supposed to be, like when you use humbucker. Next thing that makes 90s American Ultra special is that it has unusual whammy handlebar. Instead of screwing it into the bridge, you basically insert that little part, and it has a lock, holding lock for it, and it stays in place. Again, very unusual and not typical for Stratocasters, but pretty cool and kind of saves you time, swinging it all the way in or out, like going 30 times in and out to take it off. Another peculiar point for this particular model. So this Fender Stratocaster from 90s comes with lace sensor pickups. and they colored differently, as you can see, like blue, typically gold or silver, and red for bigger throughput, for bigger output, basically to make it sound like humbucker, like a real custom bucker that you would find on a Gibson Les Paul Custom Shop. The name lace sensor doesn't have anything to do with laces, actually. It's just the name of the guy who invented them in the end of 80s, was Don Lace. One more feature that just blows your mind. On this particular model, from 90 to 98 American Ultra Stratocasters, they made the fretboard out of ebony wood or black wood. Again, you can find it only on very high-end Gibson Les Paul custom shop, typically. But now they introduced it on a Fender guitar. So ebony fretboard gives you very royal-like sound, a good bite and punch, and it's known for giving you a tone that penetrates through the mix. As you could hear me playing with drum and bass and keyboard, my guitar is up in your face. It penetrates through the mix of other instruments and sounds. That's what you get from ebony wood on the fretboard. In addition, and this is why this guitar keeps climbing up in price, it has real jumbo stainless steel frets. So they are thick and, most importantly, tall. So when you vibrate, your finger does not get stuck with actual fretboard. Okay, the fret wires are tall and your fingers are up in the air, which provides you better amplitude for vibrating. And yet one more cool feature that separates 90s American Ultra from any other Stratocaster there is. It's the nut that has roller balls inside, so-called Wilkinson roller nut, if I'm not mistaken. Technically, you can't see it on the video, but there are little metal rollers inside. So when you work with whammy bar and your string changes tension back and forth, it rolls on these little metal balls. So there is no extra tension against any particular part of a string. It's rolling on it. So it helps to keep your strings in tune. We are far from being done talking about coolness of this particular model. From factory, like it's all stock, the actual tuners have locking tuners. So again, when you use whammy bar and you want your instrument to stay in tune, you actually lock each string after you tune it, and it works like additional lock that you would see on Floyd Rose guitars. Very unique hip tension spring in the middle. So on sides you have regular springs, but this middle one has a very special agenda. When you bend your strings, whenever you play bands, it keeps other strings in tune. The common problem with Stratocasters and basically with Fender or any guitar that has whammy bar is when you pick a note, let's say I'm picking string number 1, 15th fret G, right? So I have clean G, and then I need second string bent and then pick the G again, you see? So my G is not changing. Yeah, the thing about any guitar, not only Fender, but any guitar with whammy bar, if you use the arm to vibrate, whenever you pull string up, like you bend string, it changes the tension for all other strings. It kind of loosens them, right? So if I want to play G, then D to E, G, you see how G stays in tune. It's same G. On other guitars, when I bend second and keep it up, that G is gonna sound a little bit lower, all right? Because the entire bridge is pulled towards my left hand and loosens other strings. So for that use case, they invented this hip spring. Okay, so this spring with a valve here serves a couple of purposes. First of all, you need to apply a lot of pressure for it to be stretched. That's why when I bend just one string, it's not affecting the position of the bridge inside, right? So I need to physically apply force through the whammy bar to start vibrating. Other than that, if other strings are vibrated by my left hand or bent by my left hand, it will never change the tune of other strings because of this middle hip spring. So what is better than American Ultra from 90s? Well, it's two Ultras from 90s. Yes, I'm keeping them both. The Sunburst one is from 1990 and this is 1991 USA American Ultra. Each of these guitars has a very unique and peculiar characteristics in the tone. And although both of them have exact same lace sensor pickups, they do sound different, believe it or not. Pickups on this Mystic Blue one are more responsive somehow when I play in drive, something like this. The Sunburst one has an absolutely amazing and stable clean. Plus, I absolutely love how this sunburst finish is made on this particular Strat. It's not Fender-like, it's more like something that you can find on PRS guitar or a Gibson guitar, which is like absolutely gorgeous. Just look at that. So yeah, I'm keeping them both. Well, as I mentioned, these guitars are coming up in price year by year. They are becoming vintage pretty soon. So right now, this guitar is 1990, so it's 33 years old. By the time it's at least 40, it will become full vintage and it will cost a fortune. But for now, they're still more or less affordable. In 2021, you could buy anything like this guitar in very good condition for $1,600 or $1,700 bucks. Now in 2023, good luck if you find it for $2,200 because price ranges are in between $2,200 and $3,300. Well, now enjoy this awesome American Ultra from 90s in our next video. And until next time, it was Andy and Guitar Guru channel. Bye.